Yes, it's another episode of Aussie Mac Zone. How's it all going? Welcome another week. Well, yes, I'm back for this week, and how good it is to be back as well. This week, this episode is brought to you by Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting at athwebhosting.com.au. Go and have a look. Nice Australian service, so they're nice and fast. You know, you don't get that little second lag when you hit a web page. It's pretty good. All right, now let's get this show underway. Let's see who's here tonight. I think first up on the screen here, on my screen anyway, is Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Glenn. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jace. Good to be here.
How you doing? Good.
Very good, thank you. Yes.
How's your week been?
Good. It's cooled down a bit today in Sydney, later this afternoon, but all good.
All good. All right, and over in the red corner, we have Jace. Hi, Jace. How you going?
Hey, Glenn. Hey, everyone. And I'm going very well, thank you. And all the better for knowing there's a little event next week that we'll all be looking forward to.
Oh, yes. And look, I might even be watching it live next week.
Invitations are out. Yeah. We'll see. But even if you got an invitation, though, you couldn't tell us, could you?
No, that's right. So I might
but you will be in the US for various reasons.
Well, you know, I'll give you my report after Tuesday. All right.
Very good.
I'll sit in the audience with my iPad up over my head, filming it. I'll stream it back.
Yeah, that always has good outcomes, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm not likely to get another invite, so you know. So
it's the Australian Leo. He's been banned too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny. All right. So I won't be here for another few weeks, I suppose. So it'll be a little while since you guys and us meet again. But I'll be around in about 3 weeks or so, I suppose. But all right. So I'm not sure how. Oh, that's going to present a problem, isn't it? How are you guys going to? I'll have to talk to you later. I have to talk to you guys later.
Get back on track, son.
Yeah, back in the magical ways that we bring you the show. But,
I know. It
all happens behind the scenes. Nothing to see here, people.
That's right. So let's hope that doesn't, get to the front of the screen. All right. All right. Well, let's get into some stories. And yes, as Jay said, the Apple event. Yes, it is coming. It's imminent. It's coming, and great things are set to be bestowed upon us. iPhone 6s and. Hopefully, maybe there's an iPad announcement or two, but that might not be until a little bit later, but definitely before Christmas. But in any case, what's this? Off HTC. What's that? What's the first thing? I'm missing the first part of this headline. Microsoft's new Cortana. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's not Cortina, is it? It's not not the little zippy Cortina. It's a Cortana.
Cortana. Are you on slide 1, my friend?
Oh, probably not. That's where it opened. Where are we going? Hang on.
Microsoft, I think he's in the show notes from Thursday.
Yeah, I think he must be.
Oh, no, I'm on the first one now. What is this? The big...
Have you got something to tell us, Glenn?
Oh, look, if only we could get a screenshot of this. Oh, we have. All right, what is it? So you can tell that I've actually perused the show notes. I had a busy day, and I'll tell you what, that body's not too bad. The big nude selfie leak is such a big story. Okay, so what's going on here? The massive photo leak that exposed new pictures of Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Upton, and dozens more. That's right, I heard about this morning. Apple said it's looking into a vulnerability in its iCloud service that could have allowed hackers to obtain the images. Oh my goodness me. So reports suggest, so what's happened here is that there's been some hacking up into the iCloud service and some photos that I think were posted initially or somewhere. I heard Instagram was involved somehow. But anyway, I'll keep reading the report. Reports suggested that the hackers, who haven't been identified, gained access to the photos by breaking into the women's iCloud accounts. So Lawrence can be seen using an Apple iPhone in several of the pictures. In a new statement, Apple said it already fixed the bug in its Find My iPhone app that may have caused the vulnerability. It was a bit late. We take user privacy, blah, blah, blah. So what do we think about this? This is, do you think, is this one of those ones where they would have been warned, but they did nothing about, and so the guy, whoever it was, the hacker, just released it? Or do you reckon it's just malicious to start with? What are your thoughts, Michael?
I think it's just malicious to start with. There's a bit of a story about a server manager from a non-Apple company who denies he's the original hacker, but he was caught asking for Bitcoins in exchange for the pictures. And this was all on 4chan.
Okay.
This image site place. So, yeah, I don't know what happens.
Well, yeah, any
no photos of me, but
well, not like a fine programming language that was too.
Yeah, yes.
Well, there's no photos that have been leaked yet, Michael. Let's put it that way.
No,
they're coming. They're going to use those photos as a deterrent on Tuesday to hackers everywhere.
yeah, this is what you could vaguely,
Scarily
see when you hack into something.
If you hack into the system, you could come across something like this. And maybe that little picture of me, I'll tell you, that's not looking too bad. Now, the more I look at it. Now,
a lot of Photoshop work went into that, son.
Oh, yeah, jeez. Now, so yeah, Bitcoin. If anyone's asking for Bitcoin, it's got to be a big question mark, hasn't there? I think those guys famous for what was that, encrypto virus. You know, they wanted payment in Bitcoin, so you know it's all a bit dodgy, isn't it? Jace, did you have any comments on what was going on here? You been subjected to any breaches of your privacy?
No, I haven't, but I can say to our listeners they probably do want to check out the show notes this week. Look, it's broken, in the last 24 hours, but again, it's coming back to, it's saying it's an iCloud leak. I think the only thing, really that's known at the moment is the photos were on iCloud. But, again, the vulnerability could have been such as, someone got the username and password or was able to gain the password to an account. It doesn't necessarily point to a vulnerability. Apple has said they're looking into it, but it's a little bit hard to say exactly what the issue was that led to it.
Yeah.
And it's also funny, I guess, that if there is a vulnerability, at the current time, the only information or pictures or data that's being leaked, belong to high-profile people. And arguably, I guess, they're the ones that, people would try to hack, and if you think back to the stories like Paris Hilton, etc., who, had her dog's name as the password recovery question, maybe some of these.
So
it's probably not too hard to circumvent some of the password resets.
So what these celebrities that have had their photos ripped out, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Upton, I don't watch many movies, but I've never heard of them. So they're not like little B-grade actors or people that haven't been heard of for a while, just, throwing some...
One of them was...
No.
One was Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, yeah, well, she got a new movie coming out. So, it might all be just pie in the sky.
I think there was 102 or 103 supposedly celebrities with nude selfies leaked. And then later on we were told that they weren't all real. Some of them are actually retouched pictures and, photoshopped. And
that's what's hard to tell. And I guess on that point, Michael, how were they all attributed back to iCloud anyway then? Maybe there was one and people have jumped on the bandwagon. So some of these stories get a little bit confused as time goes on.
Yes.
Yeah, Chinese whispers, so to speak. Yeah, so
yes.
Yeah, you're right, Jace. Like, how do they know where it was stored? Like, unless
it's good clickbait once it starts happening. So look, at the moment, Apple are saying they're looking into if there is a vulnerability in its iCloud service. So I guess we'll hear more about that. And I guess it's our community service to people normally is to make sure that you change your password, and certainly around your Apple ID have two-factor authentication enabled. That way it's linked to your mobile phone. You need an SMS, so it makes it difficult for someone to take control of your account.
Tell you what, the most difficult thing to get into or to set up or to whatever, and you guys probably haven't tried it, but Microsoft Live. It is just the worst authentication sort of thing that you got to go through. You pull your hair out. Well, you can't get through it. It's crazy. Well, you can, but it's hard.
Microsoft account. I'm not sure if it's a live account. It's for Xbox. I had to sign up one, and I've got two-factor authentication with that. But it actually uses the Google Authenticator as the second factor. So that was not too bad. That was one of the options, and so that was quite good because I already had it on my phone as what I use with my Google account. So that was actually quite a nice experience to not have to put on yet another app or another process to do things.
Well, but just because you mentioned Google, before we go on to the next story, I've got a question, and it's just totally to do about me, and it's when I go overseas, do you reckon do I have to tell Google that I'm going? Because, like, you know how sometimes if you log in from another country, they could
they'll already know, Glenn.
Will they? Oh, they probably will.
They knew before you even thought of it.
They probably did too. Actually, I got an email from the other day. Yeah, no, but
Google do device tracking, because if you log in from another device, you'll get an email back saying, "Well, that's Facebook." Maybe Google get confused around all these emails and things.
Yeah, they do. They do stuff. Yeah, they'll send you an email or saying, someone has just logged in from this IP address or whatever. But I've heard stories
I think it's strange.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people like getting blocked, but maybe they didn't answer the first email properly, or they didn't log in properly, or whatever. But I can't see there be too many issues.
There's no one to tell anyway. I mean, it's the same as where would you actually go for Google customer service?
Oh, please.
I think you probably if you've got two-factor authentication set up, I think that would be a good start, because if they're looking to doubly check that it's you, that way you could obviously verify yourself, because you could, go and use, your mobile phone to.
But if you're overseas,
factor of authentication.
Well, I'm not going to take my phone number though. That's the thing. Well, I won't be able to retrieve any codes through the phone anyway, through the SMS. Well, I wasn't going to, because it costs too much.
But if you're with Vodafone, they got a deal where it's $5 a day. I want to save just to keep your number and everything.
Oh, right. Well, I'm not with Vodafone, but anyway, I'll work it out.
Well, Google's off the Google Authenticator app, isn't it? So
yeah, it's got an app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you're taking are you taking your phone but just changing the SIM out on it?
Yes. So I might take.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem, because the Authenticator has a unique identifier, which is like that you link to your Google account.
Right.
But if you're taking your iPhone, it will be that same Google Authenticator app, if you like. So you should be okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be right. It'll be right. We'll work it out anyway. Now, now everything's, the Apple event, it's all secret. iCloud, pictures have come out of iCloud, being hacked to pieces. Do you think, now I'm just looking, Jace, at your story that you've got coming up here, that what's the biggest story? Let's grab some nude photos, or let's go and grab some photos of the Apple event, or some of the slideshow or something from iCloud, because Apple is obviously using iCloud. But, so, okay, well, let Jace go on with his story. What's your story, Jace?
My story. It's the September 9 event that's been rumoured for some time, is in fact a confirmed event now, with invitations coming out recently for the event on the 9th of September 2014, under the title on the invitation, "Wish We Could Say More." And there's, I guess, a close-up of the top of the Apple logo. And again, when we get into speculation as to what does the invitation and image mean, it's been said that the Apple logo is casting a shadow, and that could represent the sun on a hourglass, and that would obviously mean that a watch is going to be released. So those rumors are out there already.
If I was going to speculate,
the other interesting.
Sorry, I was going to say, if I was going to speculate about the saying there, we wish we could say more, I would say more as in more iPhone screen. That's what I'd say. That's my speculation. Does that sound right?
Could well be. Well,
Yes.
more storage, 128 gig iPhones. Yeah,
yeah, it could be anything, but that's
you can swing it anyway. But look, people love to do that. Look, the other interesting thing is that it's going to be in the Flint Centre, and it's much bigger than the usual location they use, and the Flint Centre's been used twice before. Once for the original Mac release back in 1984, and for the Bondi Blue iMac release. So there's some obviously speculation around there being a much bigger venue. And on top of that, they're building a building on the outside of the centre as well. So they're obviously expecting a lot of people there, maybe a lot of devices to demo.
Right.
Maybe an Apple car. And I think that's why they needed it to fit in.
Oh.
Who knows?
Is that a monorail track? It might be an Apple monorail. Just there in the in the corner.
Maybe that travels to North Haverbrook, doesn't it?
Oh, well. I didn't get that one. Sorry.
Simpsons reference.
Oh, okay.
All right. I got it, Jace. I got it.
That's okay, Michael. It's only you did.
Now, Michael, what do you reckon of all this kerfuffle? What does it mean? Wish we could say more. 9/9/2014.
Wish we could say more. Is it holds, I don't know, 3 times more people? Is that more people? And it just that's. Wish we could fit 5 times more people, but this is they're all too expensive if I go to a bigger centre. So we'll just go back to the Flint Centre and.
Yeah. So yeah, Apple Shadows. I don't know. Could be a bit of a sundial sort of effect there. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Or you could also say it looks like a lady's bum, but with something going into it. Oh, geez, I don't know. Is that sort of an event? Is it? What's going on there? Oh, I wish we could say more. Oh dear, this has turned pornography. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on. So Apple when's that? Next Tuesday, or probably Wednesday our time, Wednesday morning our time, I'd say.
Yeah, Wednesday morning our time.
Wednesday morning our time. Yes.
Something like that. Oh, good. All right. Now let's move on.
So
yes. Sorry, Jace.
Well, can I be, if I may be serious for 1 second?
You may.
Potentially, then we may look at doing Aussie Max next Wednesday night. Then, Michael, given that Glenn won't be around, so it'll be an executive decision. So it'll probably be a reasonably boring show on the Tuesday night, and then by the next week we'll be very out of date. So,
yes, that might be a trick. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be a day later because obviously there'll be a whole lot more to talk about doing Aussie Max next Wednesday night.
Yeah, all right. So make sure stay tuned in next week. Yeah, so it'll be after Wednesday. It should be released, and Jason and Michael will tell you all the goss about what's going on. I wish we could hear more now. All right.
Well, there's a heap of Android. There's a heap of Android stuff happening before Tuesday, and there's also a new Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Ooh, Dyson!
Which we think is a robot one, which has taken them about 14 years to develop. So,
who's bringing that out? Dyson.
Dyson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that? Do they do announcements? Do they?
Yes. Yeah.
People.
They're almost the Apple of vacuum cleaners, I think, aren't they, Michael?
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well,
this is a pretty like they've done a little a video with hinting at different things, and so it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Is their tagline "Wish we could suck more"? Oh, that wouldn't go too good, would it? All right. What's up now, Michael? Aussie. Okay, what have we done? Aussie Maxone has. That's how this next one reads. Michael, finish that off.
Yes. So Aussie Maxone has sent emails to Australia's banking sector requesting information about using inbuilt NFC near field communication in new iPhones. If that happens, like we don't know whether that's actually going to happen or not. So, I just thought we'd sort of send off contact the banks, send some emails. Haven't had any replies as yet, and things like are they going to allow us to use our phone to do banking? So can we swipe our phone? I don't know whether you can. I know some phones have it, but I don't think the banks let you use those yet in Australia.
Okay, right.
So what's their expected time frame? Do they think it's good that we've got 2-factor authentication, so they'll let us use it if it's a 5S or a 6 or whatever? So when we're just waiting to get some answers back.
Okay, so when we have an answer from the banks, who do we send them to? The banking
Commonwealth, ANZ, NAB, Westpac, St George, Bank South Australia, Bank of Melbourne, Bank of Queensland, Bank West.
Oh, yes. Bendigo in there somewhere? Should be.
I can look it up, yeah.
Okay. Now,
I'll shoot them off one in a sec.
yes, okay. So when we hear back from them, if we're lucky enough to hear back from them, then Michael will divulge the reply right here on the Aussie Mac Zone. Yeah, so all right,
Yes.
Good stuff. Now, don't forget, if you get lonely through the long hours of the day and the days of the week, you could listen to us here at Aussie Mac Zone or listen to Aussie Tech Heads. That show, Aussie Tech Heads, every Thursday that gets recorded. So jump on your iTunes and download that every Friday. It'll be available from, and so that should be good. Now, you can also look at our Facebook page at facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads for all great stuff, really. You've got just different blubberings from me, and then there's an iOS app of the day most days. If there's anything exciting, we bump it up there, and normally you got to pay for it, but on that day that you see it, you can download it for free. So that's all right. That's incentive enough. All right, good stuff. Now, and also the radio. Don't forget the radio. We had a little bit of a hiccup through the week. We changed servers, but it's back. The Aussie Tech Radio. It was only down for a day or something. But it's all back now. AussieTechRadio.com if you missed it or if you happen to come across it. All right. Now, Jason is got the next one. He's on a health kick with the health kit.
Indeed. So Apple's creating privacy rules for the health kit software, and I guess we're all waiting with the release of iOS 8 for HealthKit to come out. And I guess Apple, being conscious of privacy and protecting users' privacy, has built in protection for users and provided, I guess, warnings to developers that personal data they collect from the applications, that they build using the company's health software shouldn't be provided to advertisers. And I guess you can imagine implications there that if you were maybe going and exercising or not exercising, and that was being provided back to health insurance companies, or I guess even in linkage to your phone or where you are, is it you're sitting in a McDonald's and when you should be exercising, and if that became known. But look, obviously on a serious side, that if you're collecting things like blood sugar levels and quite sensitive and detailed health information around someone, over a period of time, there could be quite serious consequences there if that, information was to get into the wrong hands, or I guess you're going to be spanned by advertisers, potentially funeral homes or something like that.
With anything though, like surely when you load up the app, you're going to waive your rights away. So what are they saying? So Apple wants to go a step further and say, you can't have the user waive their rights when it comes to health data collection and maybe on selling or on forwarding to third parties. So with the user's permission, HealthKit can integrate with and collect data from any health device or app. So that'll be interesting to read when that all comes out. There'll be a lot of noise about that, I reckon. People won't be happy about that. So the policy is going to consist with best practices of companies. Interesting.
Which can obviously vary. But Renee Ritchie, who is on the iMore site, has a good rundown of that. So if you go into imore.com, he's got a really detailed rundown, which is quite interesting on HealthKit and iOS 8.
Oh, yeah, cool. And there's a link in this week's show notes. So if you want to suss that out, it's imore.com/health-iOS-8-explained. That's number 8. All right.
Yeah, it is very thorough read.
You read it, Michael?
Yeah, there's a good 10 minutes reading in it, and it's pretty thorough. because health kit's the sort of starting point. So if you say, just as an example, because no one knows exactly what's happening, but Fitbit, you can collect all your Fitbit information, but Fitbit can't access it. Your doctor, you can give your doctor permission to access it, but you can say Fitbit doesn't need to know. I've already paid them for the product, so they've had their best. Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to come into or butt heads with actual like the health legislation, or Australia's legislation around the Health Act and all this sort of stuff, or Privacy Act for that matter.
Privacy Act, yeah,
because there's a lot of ins and outs, and that's the health, the privacy with around health is pretty tough and pretty tight. And
you can't even have it overseas. It's got to be, if an Australian citizen, the health stuff's got to be kept in Australia.
Yeah. So it can get pretty tight. I remember, I think even when I know a couple of people that work at Centrelink, and they they want to they go around trying to bust people, and so when they try and get information, they get information from the tax office, they get information from banks, and blah blah blah. But they said that it's the hardest thing to get information about is like they just cannot really get information out of Medicare. Just even name addresses, and where they've been, address histories, and all that sort of stuff. So things are pretty tight around the healthcare and information like that. All right, let's move on to Michael's Dole tip of the week. What have you got this week, Michael? Oh, in response to the nude photo leak. No, I'm not going to show that photo again. Yeah.
So in response to our nude photos leak that everyone's been made aware of in the last day or so, we just want a reminder that we've got two-step verification before people can make changes, or once they're in, and if you make it harder for people to get there. So Apple's got two-step verification, same as there are some Google two-step verification systems. And it's very, very straightforward, and probably takes 5 minutes at the most to set up. So, and basically you just go to your Apple menu, go to System Preferences, select iCloud, click on Account Details, click Manage Apple ID. Then in there, you select a button that says Select Manager. There's a button that says Manage your Apple ID and sign in. You add password and security. Under two-step verification, select Get Started and follow the on-screen instructions. And one of the most important things is at the end of it, you print out a special bit of paper which has got a really long passcode in it. So if you forget it, if you lose all your devices, you can still get in and make your own changes. Because if your trusted device is your phone, and you've dropped that down the toilet, and then you're on the computer trying to do something and you can't, and you use too many password attempts because you've forgotten, there is a way of getting around it. So only you know it, because it's like 128 character type password.
Right. Yeah, well, that's something good.
I'd suggest if your device is in the toilet, though, it's probably very secure.
No one would want to touch it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Now, that's good, Leo. And I suppose I think we've mentioned it before, but the strongest password you have should be used on your email account. So your email account should be the strongest protected thing that you got going, because if people go to the bank, they find out you're with the Westpac, and they know you. I don't know what do you have at a Westpac, a user ID or something. They know your user ID. They say, all right, forgot, and the Westpac sends you an email, and they jump into your email. If it's really easy, you're thinking, oh yeah, I've got a really good password on the bank, but email, who cares? Well, I'll jump into email, get the lost password thing, reset it, go back to Westpac, open up, there you go, hallelujah, we got all your money.
Well, yeah, and also please be aware. Like I had a customer today who had their password file unprotected on the desktop of their computer.
Oh,
so
happy days.
That's where they kept all their passwords.
Oh, dear idea.
Notepad.
Do you have...
So that I showed it how to encrypt that document. So now they've at least got a password on it. Now it's still there. it's just... So.
Does the Mac... Now, I'm just going to look this up here because I use LastPass. Now, is that available for the Mac?
Indeed it is.
It does look like... Well, they should be...
Password.
Yeah, LastPass and 1Password are the key ones, and look
Yeah.
available for Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and they are very good. And yes, if you were going to have a very strong password, the idea is you have one very strong, hard to remember, hard to guess password from a fraudster perspective that secures that away. But you store in there, your banking password, your passwords for other sites, and also things like your credit card numbers and other info you want to keep secure. And obviously, the advantage is that whatever device you're on, so you're on your desktop or mobile, you can it will integrate with the username and password boxes once you put in your 1Password as it is to unlock it.
I don't think it really works seamlessly with iOS. I think they've got issues with them trying to integrate with Safari. I think what they do is they've got their own browser on the iOS. So
which a lot of apps
one
do.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Safari must be locked up to a certain point that they can't do add-ons or whatever. But in any case, look, I've used the LastPass on my machines, and you go to a mate's house or something, and if you don't know a password, you just load up LastPass just in the web browser, and you'll be able to search for the password even. Search for the site. There's the password. Log out. And that's all secure. You can put secure notes up there. That's really, really good. Yeah, well, you should have suggested something like that, Michael. That might help a man instead of the little text file.
Yeah.
On the desktop.
I still, yeah. Well, yes, that's true. I use one called MSecure, which isn't fully integrated. But remember that Apple also have a password system now where it'll suggest a password every time you go to a new site. It'll put a very big encrypted password in, it'll remember it, and then it'll put it onto your phone or your iPad, so all the devices. So
in staying
making it
with the passwords, because I go to the sites on the iPhone and it comes up autofill, and you just click the autofill and it fills in your username and password. But how do you replace, say if you type in a wrong password or you change it, how do you replace that auto-filled password, if you know what I mean? Like, does it just...
Because it remembers.
But does it...
Because if you're on your Mac, for example, and you've gone to Glenn's Chocolate Shop website and you've changed the password there because you were worried about it being cracked and your photos getting out.
Yeah. Chocolate photos? Yep.
It's all coming together.
That saves your new password in your keychain on your Mac.
Right.
And then sends that keychain over to your iPad. So when you're out on the road, and it happens almost instantaneously.
Does it go the other way though? Does the key? Can you update the keychain from the mobile devices?
Absolutely.
So if you put in a new password on the mobile device, it will update the keychain.
On the Mac.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Oh, okay.
And your phone, yeah.
Yep, nice. Because I've got an issue with one, and I just didn't know why it kept on not logging in. So I mustn't have. Yeah, I'll sort that out from now on. I'll sort that out from there. Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you can go in and look at your own keychains on the Mac and work out what the password is you've actually typed. There's a box there you tick, and then you put in your actual login password, your administrator password in, and it'll actually show you the password that you've got stored for that particular site.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have a look at that. And, try, because it's one site that just annoys me. For some reason, it's not logging in properly. And I've had a question about keychains, so there we go.
Now, also, one thing about the Apple one, while I think of it, is a lot of bank sites won't let you actually save the password using the Apple system.
Right. Okay. So that's right. Because I know these sites that they star out the password. I wonder if they because when it stars out, if you forget that, you can look at the source code of that page and it will tell you what the password is. Did you know that? Like, you can, if you've typed in if you know how your page auto fills sometimes. So the keychains come in and it's auto fill the password in with the dots. Well, if you look at the source code of that page, it'll tell you what the password is that it has stored. That's pretty crazy, eh?
Yes.
It does.
Well, it has to be somewhere because it has to get from your computer back up to the
I know.
site you're authenticating.
Yeah.
I guess the intent is there really is to, if someone was sitting there next to you, for them not to be able to see your password and know it. Now, the idea is from a security perspective, if you're entering a password on a site, it should be a secure site. So, HTTPS. So the idea is that, yes, it would sort of be on your computer, but it would be encrypted before it travels up to the other end to be validated.
Now, I only know about that because I think I forgot a password once. And I thought, well, the computer knows it. Why can't I? Why can't I know it? And so I went searching, and there I go. You look at the source code. All right. Now, here's the story I wanted to start with. I started from the end at the start. Now, Microsoft's new Cortana versus Siri ad. What?
Hopefully it's the 6 and not the 4.
Oh, let's hope. Let's hope. New Cortana versus Siri ad shows off HTC One Mate for Windows and mapping features. So this week, Microsoft launched a new commercial comparing its Cortana virtual assistant and the HTC One Mate for Windows to Siri and the iPhone S, showing a variety of hardware features and software integration that isn't possible with Apple's iPhones and stuff. The ad is titled Siri versus Cortana. Now, that strikes me, first mistake. First thing I can pick up there is if you were Microsoft, is it right that you're putting Siri versus Cortana, or should it be Cortana versus Siri? I don't know. I think it should be Cortana versus Siri, shouldn't it? Home side first. Yeah. All right. Now, and depicts Cortana and Siri talking to each other about a number of features on the new HTC One Mate for Windows. Cortana demonstrates how it can work with a user's calendar and traffic to provide route and mapping information, while also showing off the HTC One Mate's dual front-facing speakers. The commercial ends with Siri remarking that she only has one speaker and that she is sitting on it, referring to the speaker placement of the iPhone. Does she say that, does she? Does she say I'm sitting on it? Okay.
That's what. In the ad. That's what happens in the ad.
Oh, right. Did they get the GPS girl in for that, or they made their own Siri up?
I think they made their own Siri up.
Oh, that's no good, is it?
Not the one off Big Bang Theory.
So she was busy hiding.
Now, has anyone had any experience with the Cortana here? I haven't. I don't probably intend to for a little while anyway. But yeah, I suppose. What is it? Do you think it's good? Is it as good as Siri? Better? Did anyone got any comments on that, or just don't know? Don't care?
Don't know. I haven't played with it. I haven't really even heard too much.
No. I remember when I think it wasn't called Cortana, but there was a while ago when the sort of Microsoft first released their voice recognition or the voice thing on their device, and it was poor as. You know, I saw this video with the Windows phone sitting right alongside the iOS phone, and simultaneously push the speaker buttons or whatever, say, where is my blah blah, or take me to blah blah, and inevitably the Microsoft one just got it wrong all the time. So it was hopefully they've come a long way since then. And
they have, and but I think we haven't heard about it because they've got 1.4% of the marketplace or something, the Windows phones. But maybe Siri will say more on next Tuesday.
Well, maybe she might. Now, look, Michael's even, and thanks to Michael for doing up the show notes this week. Yay! Now we've got a video. He's put a video in. Now I don't know if we can hear this or not. Let's have a listen and see what's going on. Hang on, take that back. Let's have a listen.
Hi, Cortana. You look nice.
Thanks. This is the new HTC One M8 for Windows.
Sleek, but I'm more than just a pretty face.
Me too. I can check your calendar, then traffic to help you make your mani-pedi on time.
And you sound great too?
Well, I have 2 speakers for music.
Oh, I only have one.
Really?
Yes, and I'm sitting on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you like that?
I
Hey?
feel pretty.
Oh,
so
stop.
pretty.
We don't want to
Oh.
see you again.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I'll look at the difference in the size of the phones too. Hopefully, yeah, the iPhone's got to get bigger next Tuesday. Hey? Next Tuesday. It'll have to. I'm on
I
board
think
now.
that's a given.
Yeah, I'm on board for a
Right.
bigger phone.
Might get smaller.
No. No, I don't think so.
Hey, it's still rumour time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're still in
You never
yeah,
know if the weather's cold.
Yes, well, Now, okay, cool. Well, I think that might bring us to the end of this week's show. I don't think there's any more. Everything else is blacked out. Michael's got all these little stories blacked out. I think he knows something he's not telling us.
Waiting for next Wednesday.
Yes, I think he's waiting for next week. I think he knows something. He might have one of those invites just quietly. Now, all right, so so that's about all we've got for. So thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming in, and good luck.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, everybody.
Good
Thanks, Jace.
Good luck with the show the next couple of weeks, and thanks, Jace. We'll see you both soon, I guess.
Absolutely, Glenn. Safe travels. And Michael, we will chat next week about new and exciting things.
And Glenn, don't forget all your devices got to be fully charged before you get, like when you get off the plane in America, too. I don't know
Yes.
about getting on in Sydney.
Otherwise, I'll break them and throw them away.
Yeah, I've heard that. So that is true. That is
Yes,
Yep.
you need to turn them on.
yeah. So if they don't turn on, they confiscate them or something.
They don't go. Yes.
Oh no, you've got an hour to. They won't. You can't leave them, but you've got an hour for them to supervise you. I guess
Charging.
charge them or put a charger on them and show that they do power up and
Right.
are a legitimate device.
Yeah, because the young bloke's got this Acer thing. I'm not sure how long it's going to hold a charge. It might go flat by the time we get there. But we take the
Well, a lot of the planes now, you've got the USB chargers in the seats, so
yeah.
that.
But this stupid
that-
stupid Acer doesn't have a USB charger, does it? It's stupid. It's an older one. It's a Acer Anconia or something. And I looked on eBay. I looked everywhere, and then I think I found something on Whirlpool, and someone was saying, "Yeah, you can't get the USB chargers for them. Didn't make them."
Okay.
Yeah. So great. So anyway, so I'm going to
Oh,
take
just make sure you got your charger in your carry-on luggage. Then,
Yeah.
from what I've heard, that they don't just take it and stomp on it. I think will escort you somewhere and get you to plug the charger in and
charge. Yeah.
see that it
If
works.
you ask them nicely, they might, Glenn.
They might.
Yeah, apparently they take it away and give you a new iPad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, watching a customs official stamp on an old Android is probably more fulfilling than it turning on anyway, because it doesn't work half the time. All right. Well, that's it. We're out of here. Don't forget AussieMaxZone.com.au, and we'll see you. Well, I'll see you when I get back. So if I get a chance, I'll phone in, but it'll be a delayed phone call. All right. Okay. See you soon. Bye bye.